All right, everyone's gonna name their best dish that they can cook. Starting with you, Keys. Best dish. What can you cook?
Does it matter how I cook it?
Nah, as long as you're the one
I
cooking
mean,
it.
you put the
As long as you cooked it, cooked.
you're the one who just threw doubt up in the air just like that.
He said his microwave
With
count.
that with that one sentence you threw doubt, caution to the wind. Beware all ye who enter here. Does it matter?
Nah, 'cause
He
I
said
mean,
fruit tray.
I be making steaks in the air fryer.
I mean,
That's all right.
I thought you were
Really?
gonna say something crazy like you were making steaks on the hood of the car. Like, come on.
Just take the foil out, throw it on the engine while I'm still
You
hot.
get you an '86 Bronco. That engine runs at 350 degrees.
Yo, now all you gotta do is go down to Texas in the middle of summer, pick a sidewalk, and you be straight.
Yeah, I can verify that.
See?
I can actually say that as well. I used to live in Killeen, Fort Hood.
Ooh.
Damn.
Oh man, you made it
I'm
out.
glad you made it out. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'm glad you
shit.
made it out.
Oh man, made it out.
Yeah,
Holy
He
shit.
was really in the trenches.
not a stain on me.
Lord.
I mean, I used to live down in Louisiana, so I can attest.
Down by you.
Chill. Hey, that's better than Florida.
Lord.
Florida man.
I know, right? Y'all always got something.
We do.
You,
We do.
you don't mess down. You don't mess with the people down in the bayou. That's how you go missing.
I mean, they don't mess with us either, so it's like a mutual respect.
Oh yeah.
Crazy meets crazy. We both got gators.
We both got
This is
gators.
very true.
Ours just go in the ocean.
That's true.
It's a
true.
little bit. It's a little bit extra, just for a little bit extra of Florida. If you thought Florida, oh yeah, you thought you got away from ours. No, they'll find you.
A little bit. I saw that video where somebody had picked up one with a leash on it outside of a grocery store and held it like a baby.
That's believable. I've seen it.
I would do that.
I've seen it. What does Florida do? It's the Floridians do, right?
I gotta give me a pub salmon. Gotta go to Publix.
Oh,
Pub sub
Yes, sir.
for sure. For sure.
Casey, what you cooking? What's your best dish?
Honestly, probably my cast iron skillet cooked steak, cornbread, and sweet potatoes.
Oh, she done said she done black again. She said cornbread. She had to throw it in
Hey,
there.
wait, no, Sean can verify this. At Thanksgiving, was my cornbread not on point?
It was. It was.
She said signed, sealed, and stamped.
By the nigga himself.
There was a lot of other cornbread there.
They cornbread,
Steve,
and what
you
else
got-
was it?
Her cornbread got eaten the quickest. It was gone pretty fast.
Yeah, Keith got me.
And
drunk
then
as shit
nobody
that
knew
night,
whose
too.
it was. And then everybody saw whose it was. They're like,
Whoa.
oh, ain't no way.
Don't
They're
say I
like,
got
she's
you
white.
drunk.
There's no way.
Ain't no way.
You decided to partake in the Hennessy yourself. I just
That-
offered.
That's
That
true.
was.
That's true. It was mutual.
We got everybody doing the accent that night.
We did.
That
I
was
was yelling
fun.
at white people's kids and shit.
You said, what did you say to that kid? Get your ass off the
said,
couch
"Get
or
your-
something like
yeah,
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
you
God.
said-
Get
you
your
said,
little
"Get
ass
your
off
ass
the
down."
couch. Get your little ass off the couch. It's like,
The kid looked at you like,
oh, oh.
and then you looked at Keith and you were like, you can't be cussing at other people's kids.
The hell you can.
The Hennessy got you. I mean, listen. The kid's parents were like right there. Kids
Hey,
didn't give
dog.
them a chance to react. The
I think they
dad's
were cool
always
about
on
it,
that.
though.
Like that. Always on that kid ass. And Keith just happened to get to him first. And I decided to scold him before he scolded him.
Hey, on that Henny, it's like
It's
the
like-
Wild
it's like
West. You better
Keith.
come quick.
I am. Indeed it
He
is.
didn't have no hypnotic in it or nothing.
And the thing about Henny is that you ain't even got to look at your target.
Oh, bro.
You
What I have.
you just side out him like, hey.
Just know I
I can
see
verify,
you.
bro. We were having that Henny that one night, and it was a little bit crowded. Somebody like just to get by, like grazed my chair, and I about wanted to get up and throw it. I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Because that heat that you
I'm
feel
mad- I'm
fuel
mad
your
now.
body.
Yeah, especially in a group of niggas too. Oh my god.
Oh my god,
that
it was a
body
different
heat.
type though. It was a different type though. You can ask Mike. It was a different type. How many times did we have to like almost? No, we did. Chairs being dragged, chasing people out. And stuff.
Hey, man, I always had a chair in arm's reach.
Bro, I remember I was in somebody's car and I saw you open up the door with a chair. I was like, "Is that mine?" I threw the passenger's car open. I threw my shit. I was like, "Oh hell no!" I grabbed the chair. I was like, "Who?" So
What is it, the
like,
Boondocks?
Pretty much was, bro.
Y'all just throwing chairs?
If stuff was popping up, you could guarantee I was somewhere nearby. If Mike was,
We always said that. If something happens, throw that bitch.
throw that,
Throw that.
Bro.
Let everybody in the place know it's time to
Like,
start.
oh, it's that.
Let it go. Let
Lucas
it go.
flying, everybody flying. People get burnt with coals. Let's go.
And then as soon as that chair gets thrown, everybody stop. And just like the Boondocks, somebody be like, I'm mad.
Oh shit! I forgot there's muffin here. I need to order something though.
Oh, I do
We
not
might
miss
as well
those
just
Henny
hijack
nights.
the BET.
Oh, I don't either,
I
bro.
do.
Yo, Keys, what I? Yo, Keys, what I have for Thanksgiving 1972?
72. What?
The tequila,
The tequila.
that big ass brown bottle.
I don't remember.
Let me look it up. It was a big
I don't
ass
either.
bottle of tequila. That's
Uh-huh.
probably why.
I'm gonna grab me some water.
Oh, I was drunk as shit on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I know. You legit drank. Yeah, you drank
Oh.
on 1972.
No.
1942. 1942 is what it is.
Yeah, but we
72.
were drinking
Instead of around
Casamigos.
42.
We were taking shots of Casamigos too.
That's right. There was Casamigos. I had 1942.
That's what happened.
You had Hennessy.
Bet. That's what I'm
Yeah.
drinking right now.
Casamigos?
That's my favorite.
I'm a basic white girl, and I love my Patron.
You love what?
I said I love my Patron.
I loved my tequila. And I loved my Long Islands.
Crystal almost
my
took
God.
my cast iron
I
pan
loved-
that I made that cornbread
Oh
in.
yeah,
she's
she
like,
did.
she's like,
That shit was
she's like, I'm
fucking
about to keep
funny.
it.
That shit was funny.
I almost gave it to her too, but I was like,
She
no.
almost got you. And it was like, Crystal, stop. No.
I gave mine to my
It's
homeboy when I was leaving Japan.
She's like, but I want it. Like, no, that doesn't work on me. I'm not John.
I almost gave it to her, but I was like, no, I want it back.
Shit's great.
All right, who next up? Who's the best thing?
Oh shit, I guess I'll up, huh?
Dick or Shawnee.
Johnny.
Lord, straight back to Asia.
Shawnee.
Oh,
man.
Nishan.
Shawnee sound?
No. No. Ugh.
Uh-oh.
You don't know how to cook, big dog?
I know how to cook. I'm trying to figure out which one I like the best to talk about.
That's fair.
Which one do I like cooking for people the most? Probably my lemon garlic chicken skewers with a homemade salad on the side. Like I get a bunch of chicken breasts and cut them all up, clean it up, and then I marinate it in garlic, lemon, um, some pepper. Then I add some other stuff that I'd like to put in there and have it marinated for like 24 hours or so. Have it in there. And then I start skewering it, add some other things to it, grab some veggies. Okay, people want a little bit of veggie action, add some scrimp. Some people want some scrimp, not on the same stick, obviously.
Oh, I was
But
saying.
Cross contamination.
and then no, hell no, bro. What the fuck do you think this is?
Poison.
Take that seafood seriously down here. No, I think out of everything I've cooked, besides like my burgers and stuff, which is not too much to brag about, people like that the most.
That's true.
What side?
That's usually up to the group. I don't force a side. I usually ask. It's like, hey, this is what the main entree is, and like y'all pick a side. If you want the salad I'm making, cool. If you don't want that, pick a side that y'all like.
That's fair.
But my side that normally goes with it is the salad.
Yeah, y'all make it sound like I can't cook, dog. God damn.
Casey says she
Nah.
got a cast iron
and levels. if we're gonna
This man said I lay my meat in the air fryer.
I flip it when it's time to.
I've made fried chicken in the air fryer before. The first time I made it, it came out like almost like kind of floury, and the second time I made it, it turned out pretty good. I was surprised.
What'd you do different the second time?
I think I basted it a little bit better. The first time I didn't baste it enough,
That's right.
like with egg wash.
All right. You next up, big dog. It's your best day.
Let's see. So I guess like what I've been really playing with is like different types of salmon. The one I just recently made, I did a garlic and herb with a zest of lemon. So what I do is I cook the salmon up, get it all cooked, and then after that, I lower the heat to about a simmer. Melt some butter down, and then throw in some garlic, some thyme or parsley, and then stir that up. Yep, and then you brush it, or you just drizzle it over the salmon, and with it simmering, with the heat lowered and it's simmering, it doesn't burn it off. Especially if you do like a honey glaze, it doesn't burn it off. It'll just cook with it, and so when it starts to brown, you can take it and drizzle it over, just to keep it moist and the flavor going. And then you turn that heat off, plate it, and then before you plate it, just hit it with a zest of lemon. Depending on how many pieces of salmon you got, just take a lemon wedge and just go over them. So it's just a hint. It's not too strong. It was really good. I actually cooked it the other night. It turned out really good.
Oh,
Definitely
Salmon
restaurant
is
quality.
My boy think you're a top chef out here, boy.
I got a skillet to do so.
He said Gordon Ramsay in his kitchen right now.
Gordon Ramsay ain't talking trash on nobody over here in this kitchen. He ain't calling me no idiot sandwich. I also been trying to perfect making pho.
Ooh.
Your fuzz pretty damn good, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to perfect that. So, what I wanted, I tried it before and it
What you mean?
turned out
I
all
was
right.
eating that shit out the pot
What I want to do is like
at your work.
get like the actual I did break it to work, huh?
Greedily.
Hey, yo.
Like get the right bone, the meat and the bone marrow, and let it simmer, get all the meat flavor. Cause I did it one time, but like we didn't have enough meat. It takes a lot of meat, and it's expensive.
Yeah.
Pause.
I give you that one. I give you that one.
Alright. Oh, that's what's up. Y'all make me feel so like underdeveloped out here.
Oh, it's okay. That air fryer gonna take you a while. It's all right. Because here's the thing, though. People actually like it's crazy that people actually cook top-notch dinners in air fryers. So
Yeah.
that you're not
yeah.
really far behind at all.
They perfect that shit.
Yeah. Especially the
We're
way that
funny.
they
We're laughing ha-has over here, and he's winning tournaments.
because like
And he's
it's
just sitting there reading a damn magazine.
like the way they advertise it in the infomercials. Like you're doing
Nah,
exactly
facts,
what they
yo.
said.
My shit came out perfect. I don't know what the fuck going on with y'all.
And it's a healthier option than all that butter.
Oh no, I like my steaks like crispy, like kind of like crispy.
Yeah. Like
So
on
I feel
that.
like a little bit of.
Do
Yeah,
you eat it like
Little
medium rare? Well,
we're not gonna get into the conversation. 'Cause-
Oh, you're a well done person, aren't you?
so it depends on who's cooking it, and like I
Oh.
have different trust levels with
Okay.
people.
I feel that.
But I will eat it from like medium to like well.
I'm
That's
like
just me.
that. I'm like that too. It depends on how I'm feeling. Like cause I grew up only I didn't want to see red in the meat at all. So then as soon as I started working in the kitchen, I started to kind of get comfortable with it, and so I tried medium. And I was like, okay, that's not bad. I either went medium well or well done, and then I tried medium. I was like, okay, that's all right. I won't do medium rare.
Yeah, that's not. From like medium rare down is just like just go pick the cows off
Yeah.
the field, man, dog. Like
I'll be finding it weird when people be eating rare steaks and like
dog.
they're the
people who
type of
eat
steak
blue
eaters where like they let it just like drip down their chin and everything.
And they never eat vegetables.
No. Bread and meat. That's it.
Bread and meat and drink Coke
And bacon.
and bacon.
Drink Coke. And the 64
Wow.
ounce big gulp.
With a 16-ounce can of Monster.
Chill. Y'all going in right now.
Does
Speaking
any-
from a personal observation.
Does anybody make desserts?
Key lime pie.
I could go for a key lime pie. I haven't had that in a hot minute.
Yeah, I haven't made it in a while.
What's your favorite dessert?
Good question. I like that.
Probably ice cream cake.
Ice cream cake?
Mm-hmm.
Not bad, not bad. I prefer like birthday cake and ice cream, so you can like pop it in a microwave real quick. I know it sounds weird, but like 10 to 15 seconds, so it gets a little warm. Like the ice cream melts a little bit.
Yeah. Like the
Right.
molten lava cake from Chili's. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
or like how they do like the brownie and stuff at or Applebee's and Chili's. Yeah, no, that's perfect way to eat
Yeah.
it. You have to eat it like that.
Yeah, the hot and cold contrast is
Yeah.
nice.
That's that crack right there. He's like, Casey,
Puppy
you got
chow's
one more
good,
time
too.
to fake laugh. You said, "Whoa, what?"
Puppy chow.
Puppy chow. What's that?
It's like Chex Mix, peanut butter, Nutella, and then powdered sugar.
Shake it all up.
No bake.
I really
Pretty
thought you
easy.
were talking about like actual dog food.
No.
I was about to flame you.
He was 2 seconds away from claiming you. He was about to say them damn what?
Like I
That's the
should
secret
have
ingredient.
I felt it. He was about to talk mad about that race. He said, "Whatever black card you had, revoked."
That's the
I like
secret
puppet chow.
ingredient in everything. I put dog food in my stuff.
Nah, that's not.
Puppy chow's pretty good. I like that. I was craving some sweets one day, and we had peanut butter. Like I think we had like multi-grain. No, someone got us like the 3-pack of Chex cereal that's not sweet. It's like 3 different flavors, and like we had some of that. So I just melted down some peanut butter, took a bag of that, shook it up, let it sit in the refrigerator, then powdered or sugared it or something like that. Yeah, and then I ate it like that.
This shit's so good.
It is.
It's so good. Oh yeah, semi-sweet, like kind of bitter chocolate too with peanut butter, so it's not overly sweet. That shit's really good with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like to balance out. Yeah. I've been getting into dark chocolate. I can eat it now.
That's on,
especially the Hershey's Special Dark. That's really good.
Yeah, it is.
I like that. A lot of people don't like the Hershey Special Dark. I like that.
It's just something about it. It's not too It's not too it's not too bold, not too sweet. It's like that perfect middle.
Oh yeah.
I'm a sucker for
I've always
cheesecake.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, cheesecake, especially if it's like the variety pack where it has the chocolate chips or the caramel swirl in it. I'll get fat off cheesecake.
What about dulce de leche? It's got like the moist, like milky texture in the middle. That shit's
Did you
so
say
good.
moist?
I did.
Yeah, dulce de leche is pretty good too.
If it's
If
made
you don't
right,
say moist,
yeah.
you gotta make a face with it. You gotta say moist.
Moist.
You lick your lips. Like you're putting on chapstick, like Jay-Z.
Oh yeah. I like this.
Moist.
Eating some greasy fried chicken. You're just like,
Churches before they rebranded.
Yo. Facts.
Does anybody have like It's different. It's different.
Really?
Yeah, they changed their ingredient and everything. So you know how like if you have, I don't know if you've ever been to one, but like local mom and pop chicken joints, they'll have the bread at the bottom to catch up all the grease.
Mm-hmm.
Churches should have been doing that.
That's a smart idea.
Popeyes can take a page out of their book and soak up.
Hey, I was about to say. What you're saying is I should take a Popeye's biscuit and skin myself. That's what you're saying.
Go to Popeyes first, then go to Churches and put that biscuit on the chicken.
I got you. That's what it sounded like. I got you.
Does anybody have like a favorite ice cream? I like Ben and Jerry. No, so there's this one brand called Talenti.
Mm-hmm.
They have. Let me look up this. It's truffle. It's like truffle something. It's. Oh man, I'm a sucker for it. The layered ice cream. It's got the chocolate bits. It's got marshmallow. Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Talenti is so good, but it's so devastating to your muffin top.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't eat that 2 nights in a row. I'll wake up the third day like, damn.
No, I honestly think I made myself lactose intolerant because I was eating so much ice cream at one time.
How are you lactose intolerant?
He's
I said I
lactose
think
That's like
it's
intolerant.
literally
like
part of
that.
your genes.
Because he's a cow with no feet.
Ah, he lactose. I get it now.
Wait, are you just now getting it?
I never heard it before. I get it now.
Sure. Nobody's judging you. It's all good.
Oh, shit.
Krish.
You good too?
Yeah. It's supposed to be.
Why are you so sad?
Because I forgot.
Did anybody ever find Uma Thurman attractive?
Who?
What?
Uma Thurman, Kill Bill?
Who?
Who the fuck is that?
Kill Bill?
The blonde one?
Yeah.
I know a
She's
lot
pretty.
of people probably gonna be like, "What does he mean, who?" Alright, whatever, y'all. Not everybody's in the same cult classics.
She's okay. She's not like that bad.
Not really.
I mean, it's all right. Overrated.
I mean, it's all right.
That's what you sounded like.
I guess. Jermaine.
Cole?
Cool. Oh, shit.
The real is back. The
Shut up.
real is back.
Odyssey World.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Let me put some pimping in it.
Some just don't seem right.
What did she just do with that banana?
Hey, yo.
Hold on.
Pause.
No. You want to see?
No, I'm good. I'm good on this time.
Mm-mm.
Keith, what are you doing with the banana?
Oh,
Why it gotta be me? Because I'm black?
Oh.
Oh, monkey joke. Okay.
Hey. It's always the darkest one, huh? Crazy. Crazy.
I remember one day we were in the shop, we were trying to decide who was the darkest, and you and Crockett were like arguing about it.
That do sound like something the dark skinned dudes would do, you know.
Yeah.
Look, it just be like that, okay?
Were
That
you
shit's funny.
wanting to be the darkest?
Nah.
Okay.
That shit's funny.
Because he is darker than me. He came from. I was just like maybe a shade or two like lighter. But he swears I'm darker.
That sounds
Because
better.
he had just came from Germany. So you know it gets hot out there. So all I'm saying is like, maybe he was out in that sun. I may be dark, but I'm a house slave.
Oh, we need to go through this again. You know you outside, kids.
Look,
I'm inside. You outside.
look. We all know when Master leave the house, who coming inside? That's me.
Who making sure he find out?
Hey,
Back out you go.
crazy.
I see too much Boondocks, bro. Uncle Ruckus.
Hey, what Uncle
Back
Ruckus
out you
say?
go.
He said, light, bright, 2 shades from being white.
Oh my god.
Now, what Samuel Jackson say on Django? What that nigga doing on that net?
That's an
Bro,
underrated movie.
what a crazy ass twist. Spoiler alert. The Uncle Ruckus was the owner the whole time. That's
Can I
crazy.
help you? Can I help you?
He said, "Hey, snacks, where they at?
You're like,
Da, da,
bring
da,
your
da,
car.
da, da, da,
You have
da. Don't
the
trust them new
thumbs."
niggas over
Those up
there.
there.
I remember the first time they played the release trailer for it, and they played parts of that first episode, and they played this song before the episode even came out. I was like, holy shit.
It's going to be great. Oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be great, great.
I'm back and kill it. Boom.
Shit. Hate to see it like that.
I'm alright.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Speaking of back, Tick, how your back doing?
Oh
Shit.
yeah.
You know, since I switched out of landscaping to baking, my lower back isn't awful. It's just my upper back starting to seize up now
Nah.
because I'm doing a different type of rotating.
Yeah.
Ultimately, way better than when I was landscaping. I haven't had like an actual bad day in a good little bit, so it's been pretty nice.
That's good. That's good. You gotta start doing your stretches before you go to work.
Yeah, bro, I do them at work
And
too.
after.
Oh
I do when I've got when I.
yeah. I'll just get in the car, cry, and go home. So you know.
Man, I have to.
Damn.
I
At
have
least
to
you're
do it when
honest.
I'm doing my deliveries too.
Yeah.
I have to get out and stretch after like some deliveries, so I'll be falling asleep in that damn car.
Oh dog. I still be taking naps at work.
Bless you.
Thank you. Woo.
Bark,
You
bark.
take naps at work.
Of course.
When do you have time to
doesn't?
take naps at work?
On my lunch break.
Mm.
That's normal. You know this.
I wish I could do that.
I mean. I guess. I don't know.
I mean, you're the only person stopping you.
No, it's facts. Yeah. Hey, don't
No,
let
I
the
mean,
white
like-
man get you down.
Go ahead and get down. You want to get in?
No, I mean, like, I don't see how people can, like, fall asleep wherever easily. Like, I could never do that in the middle of the day.
I could
Comfort.
go to sleep on the floor, honestly. If I'm really tired enough.
When we were doing those exercises, those 12-hour shifts, I almost fell asleep in that mock gear on the floor.
Oh, that's easy. That's cake work.
Yeah, that it
You
is.
It's the
know,
lack of
I got you
oxygen.
some of the best sleep. People could hear me snore through that thing. Microphone turned off.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Has that been better?
Oh, evidently I still snore, so. But I guess it's probably not nearly as bad though.
Have you had a sleep study done?
No, the only sleep study I have being done is my own, the back of my eyelids. No, my shoulders are super fucked though, so I need to get those.
Your shoulders?
Yeah, they're giving me a lot of issues. Like I feel like every time like I rotate like my right shoulder and stuff, I can feel it clicking and stuff.
Rotator cuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have that. Have you tried like physical therapy or looked into it?
I haven't gotten it yet, no. But I will. I gotta go and do other stuff too. Gotta go and get a psyche eval and stuff. go get me a soda past and see what goes on inside of the cranium that is my own. At least get like my PTSD diagnosed.
You're getting VA benefits, right?
No, I'm not getting
Oh.
They said it's not service related. It's like, okay, dude.
What?
Whatever, brother.
Especially for your back, you should be rated like at least like 80, 90 at least.
You'd think. Only,
It's from
fell
working
on and
the
off
heavy.
jets.
Jesus.
No biggie. Falling on rollers and shit. Fun stuff. And bad weather conditions. Did a lot of shit shouldn't have been doing, but it is what it is. At least he agrees.
Nash, shut up.
Thank you for agreeing. Always in my corner.
Nash, shut the fuck up.
No. Talk your shit.
Yeah.
Fight for me.
Talk your shit, big dog.
Put that
Talk your
paw up. Put that paw up. I feel you. Put that paw up.
He's the noisiest dog I've ever
gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it.
You have to free your mind, my brother. They can put a leash on your body, but they
Yo,
can
get
Don't let
your
them put a
head
leash
cap
on your
head
mind.
ass out of here. You have to free your mind. Release the shackles of your inner soul. Oh.
Shit. Ooh.
It's like some meditation.
I love that movie.
What is
Well,
Right. somebody made fried chicken? What piece are you grabbing? Are you grabbing a breast, a thigh, a leg, or wing?
Ooh. I'm
Leg.
first?
And you first in line.
It's a damn. I already
Leg.
got greedy. I'll grab the thigh.
Apollo, what are you doing?
I was about to say how big's the chicken? No, I'm getting greedy. He just said grab a piece. I forgot it's a black house. He just said grab a piece and go. I'm gonna grab the thigh and go.
Probably a thigh because it has a little more flavor.
I like dark meat. And thigh still has dark meat.
You grabbing a breast.
Yeah. So you like him the white meat.
The white meat.
Oh, Paula does too. I knew he was one of us, bro. Put that paw up, bro. I knew he was one of us. Put the paw up. Put the paw up.
He said, "Brass,
Nash. Nashy.
Oh man.
I like how Keith said that like he was grabbing one.
Yeah,
a breath.
grabbing a breath.
I'm pretty sure he first in line grabbing
Did you
the
just
biggest
reach
piece.
around?
He came in the back and said, "I'm grabbing this."
Was it consensual?
It's a bucket. A breath.
Oh snap! Oh lord!
Do you eat hot sauce with your chicken, or it doesn't matter?
You
Depends on
know,
how good it is.
I don't.
That's a good question, man.
You don't?
It's different for us, Keys. We're in a different environment, bro. Hot sauce was a necessity.
I put it on my mac and cheese. That don't be busting, man.
That makes
If-
sense. I'll do that too.
if Mike was eating what we was eating we was in the Air Force and we was complaining about some defects. You'd need hot sauce too.
Yeah, you
True.
would.
Like we had some bases that had like good defects, and then some bases that you're like, I thought this was an Air Force base. How I was very Air Force about it. How dare you?
You know what's crazy? Because then you'll have like the Army and the Marines come by, and they'll be like, "Oh, this should have
Gourmet.
I'm like, "Dog,
Gourmet.
what are you talking
Gourmet. 5 stars every time.
about?"
5-star review on Yelp. It's great. Went back when they
Dog,
gave
just
me
say you-
thirds.
just say you eat garbage, my guy. Just say that.
I got thirds. I about married the dude. Those are real stories. I can't. That's not made up.
This is fine.
We be hooking them up because they fucking need it.
Dog, we went to the Army
And-
base the other day. We was helping the cops out with some training. Old boy scanning the IDs at the gate. He said this whole spiel with like a semi-smile on his face. I was like, oh, this man wants to kill himself. That joke was down bad. Because you know, like, how at the gate they be like, hey, welcome to, like, Fort what so-and-so, whatever.
Mm.
Like, his whole leadership was out there. I was like, oh my gosh. Downright terrible.
What do you say?
He's like, welcome to Fort Wainwright, the like greatest like army base or whatever in Alaska. I was like, ooh.
Mm.
Something along those lines. But I was like,
You
you
saw
could
the,
tell he was.
saw the pain in his eyes.
Oh yeah. Like you can hear the pain in his voice.
Welcome to the greatest circle. Oh, gee. Oh, I don't know.
Hey, does anybody eat crawfish?
Yep.
I don't,
Sometimes.
even though I've lived
That's
in
just
Louisiana.
right on.
He's all about
I'm
it.
just not like a big seafood person.
Yeah, I know.
Nash, you cray cray. You cray cray.
Mm-hmm.
You don't ever just look at it, pick it up, and want to pull it out and just get to slurping?
Hey yo.
Oh, whoa.
Hey
Whoa. I mean, it depends.
Just get one drenched in that sauce and just pull it apart.
My God.
I mean, it depends.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Girl, I know
Oh,
you know.
for sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah, been down bad like Keith.
No, really, it should be the guys that know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, even Nash is gonna call you out on that, big dog. You're not feeling that one.
It's a hole.
He said pause.
It's a hole.
It's a hole.
You gotta put your tongue in it.
Yeah.
What you know about putting your tongue in it?
Listen
You
here.
gotta do what you gotta
If
Whatever.
Henry's on the table, she's first in line, man.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I was about to say, whatever gets you over the cliff.
Wow, you know, that's pretty supportive. It's very supportive of you. Very non-judgmental answer.
Yeah, whatever gets you over the cliff.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. We get it. COVID times was hard, and time after is even harder. We get it.
Oh my God. Desperate times.
That's just everybody
Casey was
everywhere.
Real down bad, boy.
Especially during Beast Week, there were dumpster babies being made.
Oh Lord. That,
I thought
you
that was
know,
their tech school.
no, see, that was when medical was still there. You say, yeah, I'm
You
saying.
didn't like that one.
Yeah, no, they moved medical off of Shepherd for a reason.
Oh yeah, that's. Hey, I would have had a
Maintainer career field and the medical career field.
Oh
Never
yeah.
a good combo.
What is it? I heard they be
They're-
going wild at the medical.
People were wilding in
schoolhouse.
dumpsters, behind dumpsters, around dump. I don't know why the dumpsters, and inside of bushes, outside of bushes, scaling buildings for some. People were committed,
Doing what?
Dog, you know what's crazy?
getting it on.
Oh.
Bumping uglies.
Oh. Oh. Had some water. Okay.
Yeah, that's what they needed.
For real.
Like, it was weird. It's like you already went 2 months without it, dog. Like you can go another however
Yeah, but listen, bruh. To be fair, but listen, you go
To be
go
fair.
through. To be fair, like listen, we didn't have a hard training, but for like just for dudes in general, right? You go like long time, right? And then you go to a base and you're like, oh my god, bro, it's just gonna be nothing but fucking maintainers. You're like, wait, what's that? You're like, oh yeah, it's medical. You're like, what? Like what medical? Like Air Force medical? Yeah. Navy comes there too sometimes. Both?
Oh yeah.
Exit stage right. That was gone. Because both sides were just as bad.
It's crazy because when I was in tech school, there was a lot of like married people or people who were in relationships.
Oh,
Nash, chill out.
I got a story
Yeah.
for one of those. That happened to me.
Hey,
But that's
Cut it out.
for another time.
Oh yeah.
Come here.
Another time, another day.
Lord. That. That's how I knew how my career was gonna go.
Oh, dog. What is it? I was
Trial by fire.
talking to some lady going through a divorce not too long ago.
Oh, were you now?
Yeah. Her husband was on the Tinder talking to the lady. And she called him.
Not on Tinder.
Yeah.
how do people think they
Well-
get away with that shit?
I don't know.
No idea.
And my water's on bust. Sounds delicious.
And nutritious.
I know, right? Might as well just go ahead and get
How
some water right here.
responsible? How responsible? Has a whole ass drink some water after what? I'm proud of you. How responsible?
Yeah, that's my gym bottle.
Yeah, I don't see his name on it.
No.
I have to get a Sharpie.
Thanks for laughing at my stupid joke.
I was just thinking, aren't we supposed to be the dads? What are you doing?
my dad had
Hold on,
my dad had a few deck. My dad had a that was a slide joke. I just got it. That was well done.
was
My
waiting for
dad
that.
had my dad had a few decades on y'all's dad, so I got the dad jokes a little early. He was already in his prime, so I had to listen to him. And eventually the dry humor became my own. One of us. And I've had dry humor for the rest of my life. So I make random jokes like that. This is my gym bottle. Didn't see his name on it. It's just me. It's built in. It's just there.
I don't know. My dad doesn't really do like dad jokes.
Oh, he does. I did them to you the whole time in Korea. After you told me
You're
you
not
did it
my
to you one
dad.
time. No, after you told
You're
me
not
what
my
your dad
dad.
did, every time you listen to your music, like that's a dad joke.
I know it is.
And that's why I thought it was hilarious. So every time you listen to it, I was like, I'm gonna remind him of his dad every time. Let him know that every time he's listening, his dad's channeling through me, telling him somebody yelling at him.
I will leave my heavy metal music alone, okay?
Listen, I just like to bother you because you respond to it. Don't respond to it.
Just like you
Say it. Oh, my music's great.
monkeys.
Go ahead.
Just like you monkeys.
Oh shit! I guess that makes you one because you dance to it, huh?
Oh yeah. I'll fully accept it.
Oh shit! We have fun here.
This fun's only going to continue because next month is same thing. Topic list free. We're just gonna be chatting about 4th of July and who got burnt, who got Michael Jackson, and who survived, who had Roman candle fights.
Shit.
Keys, are you top or bottom?
Whoa, wait, whoa! Whoa.
The lettuce on your burger. Sorry, are you top or bottom?
Hey, yo. Nah, because you can't let that shit fly.
He ain't skating past that.
You can't just like ease that in there.
Yeah. Where do you like your lettuce?
Yeah.
So I like my lettuce on the bottom bun, but sexually I'm a top. So
Like-
we're talking about burgers here.
So where do you like your mayo?
Beneath my lettuce. How about
Oh.
Holy shit.
Oh man. You guys, have you guys ever watched any of the like the Caleb Presley Barstool videos?
I don't even know who that is.
Caleb Presley, he's like a comedian podcaster. He does like small interviews with big celebrities. Pretty funny.
So they're just large.
Glenny Balls is large, yeah.
Wait. It's a dude. It's those two dudes, right?
Yeah,
And
one with long
yeah,
hair
I
and
know.
one's bigger, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Funny stuff.
He was like, he asked Lil Yachty, he was like, do you like to eat out?
He
He's
said,
like,
oh no, that's
"I
not what I'm
guess,
talking about.
Not that often, yeah.
He said, beneath my lettuce.
Oh man. Bet.
Tricks are for kids. Do you believe the earth is flat?
Oh, shit.
No.
No.
Do you?
Wait, what?
Oh, for
Are we
sure.
talking about the mayo
Oh, for
thing?
sure.
No. No. We got a new follower, and they asked if we believe if the earth is flat.
Ah, got you.
He said, enough with the mayo.
Why not explain?
Why not explain? Well, a good explanation that I saw is that if you were to take a telescope, aim it directly to your left or right, do you see everything lined up in your path? No, there's a curve to it. That's the best way I can explain it. That's the explanation that I saw, and that's the best way I can explain it. But I
I know
mean,
what you're talking
when
about.
the theory came out of it being flat, I kind of was on board with it. But when I started seeing everyone talk about the curvature of the planets and everything, that's when it kind of lost me. So I don't know. Like it's interesting to understand that it could be flat because in some ways I do kind of it's piqued my interest to believe that it could be, but I don't know when they're scientifically stating that it isn't. And I mean, with that kind of science alone, like take a telescope, look left or right on, like stand on top of a tall structure and look left or right. Are you going to see everything beyond straight ahead? No, it's going to curve. It is weird to think that every planet ever created is a ball. That is weird. I will say that. That each planet has its own structure of an atmosphere, stratosphere, even if it doesn't have any of that, it's still weird to think that they're all ball shaped. That that I will get behind. It's weird.
I mean, I think it makes sense because if what was it? I feel like if they were like a different shape, then a lot more catastrophic events probably would have happened on Earth because of those things happening, or because of the shape of the planets and stuff.
Hmm.
Because they said Saturn like protects Earth because of its gravitational pull,
Yeah.
Wait,
is how immense it is.
Oh, I've never heard of that one.
there's somebody in here by the name of Commander Root. They're an Artemis. I wonder if they're an Artemis Fowl fan.
How immense? What's that?
Artemis Fowl?
Yeah,
It's a book series.
you know I don't read.
That's why you outside.
Man, it's crazy.
That was a good one. That was quick.
Y'all keep playing with me. I'm gonna go in that turn in this bitch.
That was quick.
Keep playing with me.
Let's see. Tricks are for kids. What's your? Or, I mean, are you leaning towards flat or is it round? Different shape. And what's your explanation for your belief? Made it.
You didn't make
Definitely round.
it. You didn't make it.
Did you?
I'm sorry.
I was trying to see if you made it.
Nah.
I'm sorry. I wasn't letting him get away with it.
Why are you being a hater right now, dog?
He wouldn't let me get away with it.
That's right.
I say it's a flat plane with mountains. Okay.
That wouldn't make. Flat plains with mountains, because I don't know.
So let's look at it like this. If we can put a space magnitude telescope on top of the tallest structure in the world, and you aim it any which way, are you going to be able to see atop all the mountains? Are you going to be able to aim down and see the top of every mountain, or see at them? Or is it just going to be that you're just kind of seeing off into a hazy distance? I mean, and if you think about it, if you stare away from the sun and you look if you're standing in a flat plane and you just kind of look straight, if you have just land, you can kind of see that there is a dim curvature created in the distance. But that's just me. Maybe it's just the sun in my eyes. I don't know. I mean, it is an interesting theory to think that everything is flat, and I mean, it's kind of interesting. That's all I can say about it. Because I don't really know enough science about Earth's structure to kind of say that it would be flat. But I mean, the whole. I think the one thing that kind of a theory with a theory, the one thing that kind of puts things in perspective where it's being spherical is that you know how we unearth fossils because the earth is slowly pushing it up, right? Like if it like they say that it's sunk in the ground but the earth is pushing it back up or whatever is going on. I think that the earth was filled with so much water at one point, and when everything happened, all the bones that may have kind of just like went underground, and there's a drought on Earth more every so many years that everything is starting to unearth. I think the more water we lose, I think we can kind of start to understand just how everything is shaped. But and it's kind of weird to think about too, because if you think about it, the way that deep water and outer space are, it's kind of similar. I mean, you can float. It's very like dense. Your body reacts to it. The deeper you go into space, kind of like a similar reaction. If you go deeper in the water without support, you'll just like pop. I've always found that to be kind of interesting. I like deep water and deep space are kind of similar. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I'm afraid of both. So
You said you're afraid of
Yeah.
boats?
both.
Oh, both. Okay.
Because I cannot swim to save my life.
I think that is a scary thing. Like that would be a good horror game is if like there are little structures built underwater and you have to swim to each structure. And the thing is, you're not being chased by sharks and squids and everything. They're running from something more sinister. Deep unknowns that have been unearthed.
It's kind
That
of
would
like
be
playing
terrifying.
Subnautica.
Oh yeah, huh? Okay. Or what's that one movie that Kristen Stewart was in? That space movie or the underwater movie?
I don't think I've seen it.
The Underwater. That's what it's called. Underwater.
Underwater.
I don't think I've heard of that one actually.
Yeah, that one's crazy. Just like what happens around the end of it. That one will. If you're scared of deep water, that one will really kind of get to you.
Yeah.
That got me thinking a little bit.
I've been fishing out in like the ocean. Cause Sean was there.
White knuckle the
stayed
whole
in-
time. I didn't think you could turn that color.
I stayed in one spot the whole time, did not move.
The whole time. That's not an exaggeration. Like the Statue of Liberty would have been sweating with the competition. He was not moving.
I get it. I get it.
I don't think we had life jackets either, so
Pretty sure it was illegal to not have them.
True, but I mean, like we were okay.
There you go, being
I
the
got
black
it.
I was great.
He'd be alright.
Look, I say it all the time. If I die, my parents give like a lot of money, so they'll be alright.
I'll be cool. They'll be cool.
Look, it was just my time to go. You guys out here thinking I was invincible and caught lacking. What is one of your biggest fears?
That's a good question.
I'll be honest. As I'm getting older, I think I'm starting to allow myself to have fears. I only say that because I feel like I'm a pretty logical person that I kind of plan things out. So if there's ever a situation that goes on, I'll try to be prepared to deal with that. And the thing is that I come to understand that like everything has an ending, so I'm already
Yeah.
like ready to see things go and things to end. Um, I think for me to say I have a fear, um, I don't know, cause I I really don't know. Hmm. What about you? Let me think about mine. What about you?
I actually have a couple.
I'll pick your biggest one.
uh, my biggest one. My biggest one is like failing, just like in general,
Mm.
and knowing that I could have done a lot more or been better, but knowing myself and how I am, I just got caught. What is it? I would say not living up to the expectation that everybody else has set before me, but also not living up to the expectation that I set for myself.
Feel that?
Then having to go home and like live with my parents. No offense, Casey. You're trying to like move on, so like no, there's no shade to like going home and living with your parents, but like if I fail out of this, I'm not going home because like I just don't want to be looked at as a failure.
I ain't fucking leaving.
So, I actually understand that. I really do feel that. I think at one
For
point in
sure.
time, I felt, I mean, I think most of us would feel that way, you know, like when we
Yeah,
start something, we really need to see ourselves succeed and follow it through because failure is not an option. I think with that, and this isn't me trying to get you out of that fear, but maybe something that'll help you kind of understand it and maybe battle it with more tools. Um,
Yeah,
for me, I think what helped me understand is that if you have the right support system, you have the right circle, there's no such thing as failing if you keep going.
yeah,
You won't ever fail unless you stop. If you
hmm
stop and you just give up on everything, then yeah, you've accepted failure, you've accepted defeat. But as long as you keep going, like you're going to get pushed down, you're going to fall down, but are you willing to get back up and continue going forward? You'll lose your path. Are you willing to continue to find a different one to see that door of success? As long as you continue to push, you're never failing and you never will fail. It's just,
yeah,
you know, things might be different. You may take some time, and you may take like an obstacle in the way of the road, whatever have you, whatever helps you get through it. It's just that, as I said, you will never be a failure if you don't stop.
yeah,
That's what helped me like come to terms with that myself. Is that I would be so wrapped up in trying to do something, and things would never go my way. And I'd be like,
hmm
so I can't do what I want to do, and I feel like such a failure. Well, maybe pick something different. You know, maybe take some
yeah,
time to really understand what it is that you. So, like, for instance, I think a good start, if you ever get to that point, really try to come to terms with what you define success being. What is your definition of success?
hmm
And then once you find the definition to that, then you can start fitting in what you're good at, you know, what you want in life, what's easily attainable and what's something that you can work towards.
yeah.
Are you more looking for like stability or are you more materialistic?
I'm a little bit of both, honestly.
Hey, would you say
I,
material um, merits success?
mm,
Does having
I don't know,
material
'cause
define your success?
not really, but like in a way, like like doing certain things shows that like you kind of made it,
Like accolades?
or yeah.
Okay.
Well, not really, because like I'm not really too big on like trophies or awards or anything.
Mhm.
Like I'm more big on like hey guys, thank you for like what you're doing and like all the hard work you've been putting in. Because especially like for our job in the military, like you barely get recognized
Yeah.
unless you're
Yeah.
like out there busting your ass.
Shout out 36 First Squadron.
So I guess I mean, I thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate it. Well, what do
Oh, yeah, no
you?
problem.
What's your definition of success? What would you deem successful? Like what? Like when you know that you made it, what's that look like to you?
I don't know because I feel like I'm still trying to like figure it out,
Mm-hmm.
but like I still feel like
Mhm.
I should be at a place where I should already have it figured out already.
May I ask how old you are?
I just turned 26 in May, so
Oh, you're still in your 20s,
yeah.
dude.
Man, we've been around each other that long?
You're
You said-
Damn.
so you've got a. It seems like you. I mean, you either have a steady job or career, however you see it. You've got
Mhm.
income. You have a roof over your head. You've got all the essentials, right? So me personally, that's success. As long as you're taken care of, you got the essentials. You're eating right. You're working. Something's getting you up in the morning to get out and do something. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I think when you're wanting the extra stuff, the material, that's something that you can, when you're working towards it, that's just extra. That's bonus. I think. See, I'll be 32 in a couple months, and I'll be honest with you here. I wanted to DJ at a very young age. I wanted to do music at a very young age. I started to get into it when I was in high school. Had some stuff going on in life, and I just kind of, I didn't keep up with it. Over the
Yeah.
years, I kept wanting to do it. I kept wanting to do it. I'd have these moments of interest, and then I just bail out. So
Mhm.
as I got my own money, I was able to buy my own stuff, and like I felt late in the game too. Like every group of people that I hung out with, I either felt, well, I kind of always felt late because I was at the age that I was at, but I saw and experienced all these people around me had just as much or more than I did, and they were younger or at the same age. So I always felt like I was out of place or I was, a little behind. But the thing is that especially in these days, in these times, there's no such thing as, you know, behind or too little, too late.
Yeah.
Because what really keeps me going about music and DJing, I was telling Sean about this before, is that there's a lady. I think she's in Korea, but I know she performs out in Japan. She's like 90 years old, and she still does clubs, like out
Yo.
there getting it.
Oh, I was thinking, thanks be to DJs, I was supposed to show you something.
And then, there's also people who are still out here getting their GED, getting their college degree at 40, 50 years old because that's what they see being successful. And not to mention, like, being at 40, 50, you're in your prime. You got another 20, 30 more years to really work at what you want and what you love before it's like, all right, when do I start planning retirement? So, I mean, you're in a really good spot to consider that, because once you start hitting your 30s, I believe you'll be so invested in whatever it is that you're chasing that you'll have already established what you need, and you probably won't be questioning that anymore.
Most def.
Yeah, it's easy to compare yourself to other people, but I mean, you gotta do, you know, what's best for you, what's fulfilling for you, and not worry so much about, who cares what other people think.
Yeah. Like for me, for someone who's trying to be, in the music biz, in the music industry, you know, you see all these young kids who are being put out there who either have one hits or, you know, they're making album after album, 16, 17-year-old. And then here I am at 30 trying to get my foot in the door and it's just not
Yeah.
working. So like that's a big, you know, that'll take its toll. It's kind of similar like that, you know, like if I'm sitting here comparing myself trying to be into music and then I see somebody like Justin Bieber coming out here 11 years old talking about some baby 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 signed by Usher and shit, I'm like, damn, what am I doing wrong? I can't think like that.
Yeah.
I got to be like, okay, so what I have to learn from what exactly he's doing. Well, he networked. He posted himself on YouTube. He made himself famous by putting it out there, doing the work and all that stuff. So sometimes whenever there's negative in you, you got to kind of see what the positives are, like turning darkness into light, all that jazz, you know. That's what really helped me turn everything around for myself as I start looking at how to better myself with the hand that I've been dealt, so to speak.
Yeah.
So how did you, I would say, solidify what you wanted to do with your life?
So I consider myself to be well-rounded. I can do anything. Well, I can do most things. I won't say anything. I'm not. I don't have the patience for almost anything. I can do most things,
Yeah.
but I understood that like I am somebody who likes to own my own freedom, I guess. Like when I was working at the hookah lounge where I met Sean, the reason why I stood there so long is because like I had my own little corner. I ran my own thing. People
Yeah.
were, you know, I had to tell people how to work around things because it was, I felt the best, you know, the way. But like it's, I don't really like being told what to do because when I work in jobs, I end up learning a lot of the ins and outs within 3 to 6 months, and then by then if I understand something can be done better, or if I got somebody telling me what to do and I think there's a better option, and I either approach them or I know they're not going to listen, I tend to get a little sour about it and I just don't care about working. And then also I don't really like working. So if I'm going to
That's fair.
continue to chase if I'm going to continue to chase this hobby or career, and I'm going to give it 100%. So I used to be very big on procrastination. Like I would just be like, "Oh yeah, I'm so ready to do this," and then next thing you know, I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow." Tomorrow turned into a week turned into a month turned into a year, and then here I am now. Um, I finally just allowed myself to separate from everything around me that was causing me to turn away from bettering myself and reaching that success. And I finally just said, all right, I'm gonna be firm about what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be firm about myself and go ahead and get what I believe is successful. So I really just had to rewire myself to understand it, because I would always help people, or you know, like kind of like take care of people. I would always kind of stick my neck out for people to kind of, you know, help them, help their lives, but then it would kind of put a blunder on myself. So
Yeah.
I didn't stop doing it, but I stopped doing it so much. If I knew that I couldn't, or if I wanted to apply time, I'd be like, I can't today. Because I was so passive, it would really affect me personally when I had to tell someone no. But now I know I'm telling them no for the right reasons. So I feel a lot better about it now.
Good way to put it.
It's been a very long journey for me, because I've had huge ups and downs. When I started working at the hookah lounge, I had actually just lost my brother, and I wasn't making the best choices. So that was a time where I was really like, oh, I want to do this, but nah, you know, let's go get drunk, or let's just sleep it off, or let's, you know, I just wasn't in the right headspace. But as I started to really kind of accept and grieve properly, and kind of grow from that pain, I also understood that I don't have a lot of time left. So, and I also, now I have 4 kids. At the time I had 1, but I was like, you know, somebody's got to.
Jeez, you putting it down, big dog.
Yeah, COVID was a busy time. But
oh man, speak for yourself.
another thing that helped me out too is that I want to be able to pass down or pass off something of myself to my next of kin, whether it be close friends, relatives, or my own next of kin, or my partner. I want to be able to give something of myself to them so they can continue to strive and learn from how I learned. But instead of having to go through my experience, I can give them the tools. I want to be able to live my life, come out it on top, and be like, hey, this is how I was able to get through all the dark times, enjoy the good times, and stay in the present at the same time.
Yeah.
So if I can pass all that down, and that's and you know, to kind of answer your question about the fear thing, I used to have a huge fear of dying when I was young. When I was like 5, 6 years old, I used to have a very big fear of dying. I used to like cry out of nowhere. I remember crying to my mom and dad about it. They'd be like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I don't want to die." Not to get morbid or anything.
No, you're good, you're good.
But I just be like, as a kid, you know, I sit sometimes I'll think about it. I'm like, damn, as a kid, I used to think that. Like, damn, that's crazy. And it helps me understand like how far I've come. Like I've come to understand to be okay with a beginning and an end.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as I can make up the time, and see, that's all it is. Like you have a beginning because you're born, you're living, and you have an end because everyone else ends. So what are you gonna do with that time?
Yeah.
I had to beat myself up a lot to understand that I can get far as long as I stay focused.
Yeah, try to stay positive as much
Yeah.
as you can.
Yeah.
Definitely. It took a lot of mental self abuse, but as soon as I got past that, like I still like I have a trickle of it every now and then, but I know how to combat it. I know how to get out of my own headspace and just kind of stick with it. So, I mean, and the reason why I do this whole stream thing, it isn't just a stream every other Thursday or whatever. Like the social pages, I have those prepared too. Like I'm glad that I was able to meet you guys. I'm glad that Sean was able to allow me to, you know, get to know y'all because, like, if you're ever feeling down or whatever, or even if you just kind of need like a pick me up and you're not getting it from social media, like, you can always hit me up, post something on the social pages, and we'll interact. Like, I want to do this because I want to be able to help people who are like me or, you know, who are kind of going down the path like me. I don't want to see anyone go through that because I know it sucked.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Good question.
That's good.
But my
Yeah.
man, you have a whole air fryer to cook steaks. You are doing good.
True.
Not bad.
You are doing good. No one with a good head on their shoulders gets an air fryer.
Unless they somehow make like crack out of it. Like,
Hey, look, you never know.
He said,
I'm
I
sure
did
it's
stumble
simple.
across the formula once or twice.
Look, I'm pretty sure it's out there on YouTube somewhere.
No, full Walter White, huh?
it's worth a Google.
You can Google
Worth a
it. It's worth a Google.
It's worth a Google.
Let's see.
Insane.
Hopefully
Casey,
that helped.
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely do.
Casey, what's your biggest fear?
I think you already know my biggest fear.
Well, yeah,
You probably
they
have
don't
an
know.
idea.
Whoa. Why y'all say it like that? That was weird sexual tension.
Did you guys have some pillow talk?
Hey,
Oh, man.
is it a
Laying
thumb
in your
butt or
glove?
something? Like,
I
Still-
mean, not like that, but we've had some pretty frank and open conversations before.
Yeah. For sure.
So
almost.
yeah, I guess getting too close with someone, that's my biggest.
You know what's?
I think.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you good.
you
I
good.
talked enough.
God.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think that's a big problem for a lot of people
Yeah.
because a lot of people's been done dirty,
Hmm.
including myself. But I mean, like, you still have to like. I wouldn't say full-fledged give your trust to people, but you gotta like, in a way, like make them earn it.
I like
If
that.
that makes sense.
Yeah, in like a healthy way. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
that.
I've always kind of had this theory, but I realized it was kind of solidified. You guys remember Topanga from Boy Meets World?
Oh yeah, fine as woo.
Yeah. So, I saw a video of her on a talk show where she was talking about relationships, and just to kind of quote her, each relationship or situationship that you get into is really just you trying to find out if you're a match with that person. uh, there's always going to be some kind of sign that tells you that you're not a match, and so a lot of times we tend to ignore those signs to try to chase what we like about that person until we end up getting hurt and then we're let down. I What helped me get through thinking or just keeping my expectations high with people when it comes to doing that is that if I'm in my heart after meeting them don't feel like it'll get anywhere, I'll be cordial with them. I'll let it go as far as they want to get, but I always make it firm right at the beginning what I want. And if they're not able to give me exactly, or if I feel like I can't give it to them, because I'll be honest, a lot of times I felt like I would be burden or baggage to them because of what I had going on in my life. But then over time, I also realized that we just weren't a complete match. Like we liked each other, we liked a lot of stuff about each other, but I just did never seen it going that far.
Yeah.
And I wasn't always the best. I don't know. I hurt a lot of people's feelings because I would be firm and like I guess my behavior wouldn't kind of match what I'd say because I'm a passionate person. I could be a passionate person, but I don't know. I know I knew to make it firm at the beginning because if a lot of times they would try to like change my mind. I'm like, no, I don't feel that. And sometimes I'd have to be firm verbally and they'd be like, okay, well that's fine. We won't ever do that again. I'm like, okay. I never forced, you to believe that that's where our foundation of our bond was, is physical. Like, no, like, oh, you want to hang out? I said, let's hang out. Then we'd end up doing things or we didn't. And I never felt anything against it if we did or not. But I think it may kind of help to think of it that way, is that whenever you find yourself connecting with someone or bonding with someone, if there's any kind of sign within you or external that you see that's telling you maybe it's not the best fit, or just getting to know that person and you just like, I don't think so, I would not, I wouldn't have that mindset to be like, let's see where it goes. I would just be like, let's just kind of level for level. If you find yourself not being able to put out as much, then you kind of understand that it's not going to get that far. This person's not going to do anything that drastic to change your mind. Or vice versa. If you're putting out so much and they're not putting out a lot, take that as a sign and pull back. If they don't go back up to the level that you got to, then that's your answer. And it sucks because it's not easy. And it does hurt to understand that you've given your all and this person's like, because to be on the receiving end of that, oh man, I completely understand it. And you don't always like, you don't actually have to give your all whenever you are met with someone that you're interested in. Just I would level with them. If they don't get above a certain level to where you want to go and it doesn't get there in like a matter of time, 6 months to a year, if you let it go that far, then you kind of got your answer and you move on to the next person. See, what we do is that we hold on to this idea that you're supposed to have, you know, one partner always and forever, and the first person you meet has got to be the one, or just because this person makes you laugh the most, that's your one. No, it's like sometimes it's a person you don't expect. You guys share so much and you know each other so well, everything is effortless. If everything can be effortless, everything else that is to come in the future will be that much easier to handle because you guys just know each other so well, or you vibe with each other so well. Like you can just work things out without having to be like, what the hell?
Sometimes it's somebody that was right next to you the whole time.
And what you trying to say, baby, huh?
You what? Shoot. Well, you got fun? Shoot, you can talk to me all day.
You come stir this bowl.
Let me tell you. Nah, I'm not. We're not. Let me not.
Or sometimes somebody was pretending the whole entire time.
that happens
That
too.
sucks too. Yeah, and they pretended to get what they want, and unfortunately, they fooled you enough to get it. And when you do find out, you just be like, okay, well, that's not happening again. And I mean, there's nothing left to do, so you just be like, just move on
Turn my
because
camera off 'cause I'm eating.
it. The sucky thing is to know that they might go do it to someone else, and you want to try to change that. Well, eventually that person's going to meet their karma, but you're not the judge, jury, or executioner, so you just got to continue to learn from that person's toxicity, and your inner self will pick up on it the next person who tries to do that. You'll be like, oh wait, no, this one.
Yeah, you've basically like seen their kind of like their inner demons come out, and you kind of learn
Yeah.
from that.
Yeah, and the thing is to never jump on it immediately, because sometimes we tend to react to that because we're familiar with it and we react to it, and so that sometimes can mess things up because what someone's natural habit could be someone in our past trauma that was trauma that was put on us, but when the next person that we meet is making a natural habit of moving the way they do, but the result isn't the same, like someone who's always like let's say for instance the easy one, cell phones, right? Someone's always hiding their phone, putting their face down, pointing it away from you, and you're like, what are you doing? The first person who's doing it out of toxicity, they're like, oh, nothing, lies. Next thing you know, you find out they're cheating. Okay, so the next person who does it, maybe they're just a very private person, and it's not the fact that they're just that private. Maybe they're trying to get to that point of being able to trust that you're not going to search their phone, because maybe that's what they went through, or because they've seen it happen, they don't want you to be that way too, where you're like, oh, what are you doing, who are you talking to? And not everyone likes that. And like for me, that's very invasive, because the people that I talk to, a lot of people will tell me things, they're like, hey, don't tell anyone, and so I'm not, I'm not gonna let anyone go through my phone and jeopardize that. But it's not, I used to be that way. I just never really liked anyone being in my space or touching my stuff. um if I ever felt I had to hide anything, I'd just be like, yo, this ain't working now. I've been caught, lying and cheating before, because like I had been in a kind of like turmoil of that so much, I kind of ended up doing it I did it myself, and I stopped caring to be um sneaky. But I mean, just like whenever those things happen and you're familiar with it, just kind of see where it goes, because if it happens again, you're just like, okay, well, you're just like the last one. And then if it's like 3 times in a row, you're like, okay, what are the traits that I continue in the choose where I keep seeing this happen? And then if you kind of understand that there's some changes to be made about the type of people you're into, you can probably choose different ones that won't do that to you.
Yeah, it's just hard because some people are so deceiving,
Yeah,
so deceiving.
yeah.
It's just so hard. Come on, my dog is begging me to go potty. Come on, go outside. Oh, I actually stepped outside for a second. Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable like opening up because my family's around. I haven't really told them much about it. I mean, my cousin a little bit.
Oh,
But,
okay. Is this like
yeah.
something that's ongoing or something that happened recently?
Not too recently. I mean, I don't know. There's a guy that I was in when I was stationed in New Mexico. I had feelings for, and like I've had retrospect like so many times on it,
Yeah,
and I think he might have just been pretending the whole time. But like I had really really strong feelings. Like I fell really hard, and
yeah,
ever since then it's just not been it's not been easy for me to trust anyone.
yeah.
So
And that's always tough. I've been there. A lot of us have, and it's there's no easy way out. Sometimes you just got to go through the motions, because when you got someone who's blatantly telling you by their actions, by their behavior, how it's gonna be, it's kind of a hard pill to swallow, because you're like, well, now I got to go change up and do this with someone else. It's the process of having to like meet someone again, learn them, trust them, have them trust you. It's very exhausting because a lot of people,
It is.
they don't really just come up, they're not upfront with you on what they want, you know?
Yeah, because they have their own traumas and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what helped me out is that I always kept, I always kept I just kept myself open, you know? And that it, I guess the easiest way to say is I was I just kept myself open. It's just like, you know, like I of course there was a lot of people that I was interested in, but I'd only be able to actually like interact with, you know, like a handful every now and then. Um, but if I found that someone was interested in me and I had mutual interests, you know, I just kind of see where it went. I'd kind of level with that person, and if they got to the point where they're like, okay, so, you know, are we getting to the physical part, or hey, do you see anything future related, long term? And I'd be like, you know, I'm down for physical. I'm always down for physical. But if it was long term and then I didn't really find that there was a match just yet, like, you know, I'm not really looking at anything serious, but I'm not opposed to it. If I say I'm not opposed to it, I'm going to keep an open mind, and they'd be like, okay. But then they would, some of them will try to flip the switch and like play a really hard game of like retaining me. And that's, I think, part of what kind of put me off is that there was a try hard about it. I like things to be natural, and there was also this thing where I realized that when I would talk or speak about myself or how I felt about things, as little as I did, a lot of times I wasn't being heard, or yeah, they would listen to me, but they wouldn't hear me, and they wouldn't feel
Yeah,
me.
there's a difference between listening to like react, but then listening to understand, or listening to respond and listening to
Yeah,
understand.
and I wasn't understood, but I had to be the understanding one because I was the understanding one to begin with, and then there was times where there was mutual understanding, but I always had to keep up with myself, but I had to be lenient at the fact of their misbehaviors, and I didn't like that. So I would
Yeah, it's
never
got to be
make
50-50.
yeah, and I would never make anything stick because of it. And I would never tell them. They would never understand. Some of them would be like, "Why aren't you ever that interested in me?" Like, "Cause you don't get me. Like, you don't understand me."
Yeah, and some people aren't willing to understand.
And they get very mad when you tell them that. Like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" And then they'll flip the script and then try to like, "Oh, well, you did this and that." I was like, "Well, this isn't that kind of conversation. I'm just telling you, like, I felt misunderstood. Instead of trying to figure out what it was about me that you were missing, you're flipping the tables and now you're targeting me like I did something wrong. Like, no,
Yeah,
I
trying
didn't.
to be constructive instead of like accusatory.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I've never convinced anyone to make anything happen with me. Like, it was all natural. Like, you know, you get in a setting, a personal setting with someone, and it's like late at night, and you're just kind of like, well, you can feel that both of you are thinking, well, what's next? And then, you know, things happen, and things continue to happen from that point forward, but then nothing's said until that one person's like, so what are we? And you're like, whoa, hold on. Thought we were just having fun. And then you're the bad guy for it. It's like, well, you can't expect me to be on your level because that's how you feel. Now, if we were to talk about it, I'm willing to talk about it. But if it's not discussed and you don't see me putting in any more effort, then I think you have your answer. And I've been met with that too. Like, I would put myself out there and then I'd be getting very little back. I'm like, okay, so this isn't a thing. It's not getting anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and just reel back. And I would reel it back and nothing would change. I'm like, well, I'll move on to the next one. And some of those people, it took me some time to kind of, because I would put myself out there for people. And I just be like, man, I really wanted this to happen, and it would hit me hard, and I would just kind of take some time to myself and just, you know, try to get through the motions of that pain and disappointment, and then I'd end up, you know, meeting someone else. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see where this goes. But I know it's not as easy for everyone as I may have explained it to be. It's a lot to get through sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, it's just some traumas that I need to, I guess, deal with. And I mean, I've sat down and done some self-reflecting, and there's things that I definitely could have done better, or things that maybe I was doing I wasn't even aware of.
Yeah.
So sometimes we need to call ourselves out too.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Um, But
And
I don't know.
I think what you know, you're right. When you call yourself out, you're like, okay, maybe I can do better. But instead of thinking that you can do better with a person who's just gonna behave the same, tell yourself, I'll do better with the next one. Because here's the thing, I believe that no one deserves anything. You earn everything that you have within your grasp. But you seem to be like a very spirited person. You seem like you can be a very good time, and you're supportive, and you have a lot of love to give. Allow someone to make you happy again. If you're not being happy with the person that you've had this experience with, well, someone else will. Because you seem like someone that, you know, there's always going to be someone who's interested in you or who wants you. And I believe you will get to that person who's going to make you the happiest that you can be.
Boy, don't believe her. She's evil. Not like
I'm so mean to Keith all the time.
no, she wishes.
No, I think a lot of people, like, maybe not a lot, but I feel often like misunderstood because I do have a strong personality and have like kind of a, I guess, brash, hard exterior, but like inside I'm like a teddy bear. You just have to get to know me, I guess.
Do you know how to explain that to people if you ever feel like they're put off by it?
Uh, I would hope so.
So, like,
I don't know if they would believe me.
so like, you know how sometimes you're out with a group of friends and then like someone invites that one person who's the asshole and they're out, you know, being their asshole, and then they're just like, oh, you know, I'm an asshole, and like they explain it how you explained it, but there's always a deeper way to explain things, and it's always easier to explain it kind of like how you explained it or how they would explain it, because like it's either you get it or you don't, and you know you kind of move on to the next person. And I think when we first meet people, that first impression a lot of times can be everything. And then so you're just like, whenever you first meet someone who's like really outlandish like that, you're like, oh, that person's an asshole, I don't want to be around them. Well, you don't have to be. No one's forcing you to. And then, you know, you can always choose something different to do or be somewhere at a different time. But like with someone who is kind of above that behavior, but who can sit there, like, you know, if you ever have someone that you really care about and they're like, why are you this way? And you just be like, can you explain it for them to understand it? Or if you see that they don't, you can just be like, well, if you don't understand that I'm working through it, then this is probably not going to work out. Okay, could you explain it like that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know. When I was younger, I used to be more like, I guess, hot-headed and more blunt. Like I would just kind of be more outspoken and say whatever. But then I realized like you can't always do that. You have to like, you know, think about how number one that makes you look, you know,
Yeah.
because perception is everything.
Yeah.
And then number two, like, you know, you don't necessarily want to cut someone deep, you know, unless I mean, I guess unless they deserve it. But um, especially if it's someone like you're not trying to hurt, you know, like maybe just I don't know, think more before you speak. I mean, that was my biggest thing when I was in my early 20s. I was a little more hot-headed.
I
So,
confide in that. I was the same way. I used to be a very uh internal angry person until one day it started to leak verbally, and I got so good at being able to tell someone off that I'd cut them deep. Like I wanted them to feel it so bad that they probably go do something to themselves and I won't feel bad about it. That's how bad it was for me. I had to understand that I was hurting people and I didn't really want to. I was just mad. And then when people
yeah.
would talk to me a certain way or treat me a certain way, I'd make them feel it exactly how I felt it, or I'd make them feel
Yeah.
it worse. And just like you, I had to realize that's not the best way to be at all, because you will be alone if that's how you continue to be. One, I commend you for your growth. That's awesome. I did the same thing, and it sounds like you're really on the right track. And there's no good or bad time to learn it. As long as you learn it and you start making changes to be better, the first thing that you can say whenever you're met with that situation is, oh, this is old behavior that I'm working through. I need to deal with it. I'm dealing with it. I just need to, that's the one line that you can use now, is that when you know you're getting to that point, or you've already met that point and you realize in the middle, like, oh shit, I went too far. Like, hey, you know what? I'm sorry, I went that far. I'm working through that. That's old behavior that used to be me. It kind of slipped out. Let me just take some time and just like take some time to yourself as much as you need. 5 minutes, an hour, a whole day. But as long as you can say that line out loud or to yourself if you're alone, that's already a good start, because then you'll start to remind yourself quicker. You'll start to remind yourself more. You'll start to break that habit, and eventually you'll catch it like mid sentence. You'll be like, you know what? I can't do this with you right now. That's where I'm working towards myself, because I realize that I still have that tendency to snap verbally. Like, I start to get to the point to where I can cuss a motherfucker out, and then I get loud, and I just start, like, I get very destructive. Like, I start wanting to hit shit. I want to break shit because I want that anger out, and I want people to feel how I feel, because they don't understand me. It's kind of like a child's tantrum. I want them to feel what I feel, but they won't hear me, so I got to act it out. But I know I can't do that as an adult. So I have to stop myself and just be like, ooh, and really breathe it out. So I'm there too, but what's helped me is that I'm able to explain that I'm in that transition of doing better than I was before. And then in that same breath, say, I am better. And I pride myself on being better. But right now, I'm having a relapse, and I just need a moment.
Yeah, and if your partner can understand that too and know that you're finding healthier ways to channel out that kind of negative energy or the anger or whatever, then I mean that's definitely key, is having an understanding of like um you know what you're triggered by, or when you're triggered,
Yeah.
and then the understanding like, okay, and then realizing it's not necessarily them, maybe it's
Yeah.
just something that you deal with, and you're trying to find healthy coping mechanisms.
And I don't know if you go through this,
So,
but I've gone through this before. You'll never really know if it's you or them when you have someone who antagonizes you on purpose, because you'll always be like, oh, I try so hard to not be so mad, but you make me mad. And you can't really blame them, because you are breaking your habit of growth, but at the same time they're poking you, and
they're
they shouldn't
deliberately
be.
disrespecting you.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's really stirring the pot of toxicity that you don't want. But like, you have to, once you remove yourself from that person and you go to the next one, if they're giving you your space, or if they're trying to figure it out and they're like, okay, I got it, and you snapped, well, now you're the problem, where you start. But if you have a partner and you've got a good partner, when they understand and they give you that space, they give you that time that you need, or the support that you need, you got a good one, and you can start to slowly invest more into that person or that relationship, because you got someone solid who's not trying to sit there and be like, oh, well, you're this, oh, well, you're that, or your mother this, your mother that. They're not purposely poking you, trying to upset you more. They're like, hey, you know what? We're both angry. We need the time. Let's just, do you. Well, we'll come back to it.
Yeah, there's some people that just thrive on toxicity, and people who are sadistic, just deliberately making others upset or hurting others for
Yeah.
their own amusement. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I have been there before.
Yeah.
I feel like someday I will find the right person, but it just has to,
It takes
like
time.
you said, be natural.
Yeah, you definitely want it natural, and it will take time, because what helped me get to where I'm at now. I mean, I was 8 years off and on with my ex, and in the middle of that, we either cheated on each other or we were separated, and I was, I was living my life. But I got to a point to where I was tired of being in that loop. Like, I was tired of the same type of females. I was tired of being off and on with her. I was like, you know what? I need a break from all females that I'm interested in. I just need a break, because I was tired of being in a loop of just being expected of, but I could never see my expectations come to fruition, or I was the bad guy. So I stepped away from love interest. I stepped away from hanging out with girls that could possibly be potential. I just stopped. I stopped caring. to seek it. You know, I wanted it to come to me naturally. I wanted to be able to, like, the next person I find, we're gonna understand each other. We're gonna talk. We're probably not gonna do anything physical because I'm used to doing physical within like the first or second time meeting. But I was like, you know, the next person, we're just gonna talk. I want them to understand, to learn me, to understand me, and I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna give it a chance, an actual chance. Then lo and behold, my wife came into my life, and then it's just, you know, here we are. We got a full family, and we're working towards our own hobbies and careers. It just takes time. Sometimes, like you said earlier, you just kind of need to take a step back and understand what it is you want and what you can provide and how you can better yourself. When you stop looking for it, it'll naturally come to you. But when you're constantly trying to search for that person, what you're doing is you're putting these, what do you call them? Expectations and priorities of, it's like a Build-A-Bear for a partner. You know, you think, oh, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. Do you really need all this that you're asking for? You know, what you really need is someone who gets you. What you really need is someone who's going to be like, okay, take your time. But you know, what you need is someone who's just going to be not only your love partner, but your life partner. It's very hard to find, and the reason why things don't work out with people and you feel that pain is because you have to understand you don't want to live like that again. So you got to stop searching for these type of people and let the person that you are expected to have come into your life. When you stop looking, you'll find your answer a lot quicker instead of just trying to search. Instead of going out and looking at guys and be like, oh, he might be the one, or he might be able because he has this or he does that, he might, it's all just possibility. But when you sit there and just like really allow yourself to feel someone out, and you can feel that you both feel each other the same way, and there's no denying it, you're onto something. That's what helped me. I just let myself feel internally without trying to pick and choose what I wanted in a partner.
Yeah, chemistry is a pretty big deal. It has to be the foundation, obviously, you know, and then it's a big deal.
Like I said, it's trial and error. It's very hard, and it's very, you know, it can be exhausting. But I think one thing to learn from these chick flicks is that it's always that the scenario is always like in a bookstore or at a grocery store or just somewhere random, and it's like, oh, I bumped into you. Oh, I think I love you. You didn't even say 2 words. What the hell? But they live happily ever after, you know?
Yeah, like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, and you know, you're white, so that'll happen to you too.
Thanks for the reminder. I forgot.
But, you know, you've been holding that black card so high. Just take you a visit into your next Barnes and Nobles when you have the chance. I'm sorry,
where I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
find my Henry Cavill. Perfect match. Barnes and Noble's got it. One of my family members, she like legit has like is able to like channel like psychically, and apparently I'm supposed to meet the love of my life whenever I go over to Europe or something, but I don't know.
Is that why you're trying to go to Germany?
No. This was kind of told to me recently, so I was like, oh, okay, so I am going to Germany.
So
I don't know. We'll
that's
see.
awesome, because I've kind of dabbled into that kind of realm of super ability. Not myself, but I've been around it, and I actually, you know what, I kind of have done it myself. I've always had this like weird knack of being able to create deja vu moments, and it happens. But that's, you know, another conversation for another day. But I feel like if you wholeheartedly believe that could happen for you, and even coming from a psychic, I would, I guess, just, yeah, I would just, you know, let it happen. Like, don't hit Europe and be like, oh, I'm supposed to meet the love of my life. Where are you?
Come here, Mr. Mr.
Bring
Jerky.
that body over here.
Oh, they will.
put, putting there sausages.
Be like, oh, can I see your schnitzel?
Oh yes, you can see it. Yo, that's
What kind of bratwurst you got?
thick and juicy. Sauerkraut. I have full faith that you'll find what you're looking for when you stop looking.
Yeah,
You
when
know
I
what's
get
gonna
over there,
happen?
I have the mentality that I'm gonna be career focused for a long time until it happens.
Nah, you know what's
What's
gonna
that?
happen? You're gonna trip on the street and you're gonna drop your books. For some reason you're gonna be holding books. And then the
Just
manager
fucking
is
my
just
bell
gonna...
from Disney.
The one fucking time you hold books.
He's gonna be like, "Oh, sorry, miss. Let me help you with that." First of all, you don't have a German accent. Second of all, goddamn,
And be like, did I just hear British?
did I just hear marriage, wedding bells?
I don't know. I might look up and it might be like that. That. What is it? What is that instrument? A harp just playing in my head, and then
That's a
wedding bells
concussion.
following it. As a concussion.
You hit your head pretty hard, miss. I'm falling for you. Nah, you bleeding a lot.
You need a doctor.
Might I ask how old you are?
I'm 28.
Ah, well, yeah, you almost there. That's when I stumbled upon where I wanted to be. So yeah, yeah. If you just kind of tend to focus on what you want and where you want to be at, that'll all fall into play. I got full faith in that happening.
I just gotta go to a Barnes and Nobles in Germany.
Yeah, or what they call it, a nook.
Who knows? I don't speak German. Just walk in and be like 9.
And they go, "Oh, American."
Yeah. Like, oh. A lot
As
of them
long
speak
as you
English, though,
stay
so-
away from the red light district and the bars, you'll be good.
Yeah. I'm too old to be going to bars and shit like that. I mean, maybe with a group of people, but
Bars are for adults. What are you talking about?
well,
It's
clubs,
okay.
I guess.
I had clubs definitely. Clubs is that's a young man's game. Bars is where all the adults go, all the intellectuals go.
Oh,
All the intellectuals.
thank you.
But I do want to say thank you for sharing that. I understand that you had to change your scenery to share that. Thank you
Little
for
bit, yeah.
being vulnerable to share that with us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for the advice and sharing your own experiences, and I really appreciate it. It actually did help a lot.
Oh, I'm glad I could help. I understood at an early point in my life that when you just give advice, you kind of sound like an ass. So what helped me to kind of like be able to understand and level with someone is if I can share a like-minded experience, and yeah, I think it does help a lot. Because then
Yeah,
it
no,
will... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I love hearing other people's like experiences or like their theories or thoughts.
Because
I don't see it as being an ass or anything. Like, I mean, you can learn from it too. You know,
right.
take pieces out of it.
And the thing is that if you're talking to someone who's very open-minded and understanding, they'll go, "Oh wow, you know that happened to you." Like if you don't try to make your past just as overwhelming as theirs, or you know, some people are just like, "Oh wow, like you just threw your trauma on me to like compete to see who got hurt the most." As long as you can make it a competent level.
Like I slipped my wrist and the rope broke when I had it tied to the pipe, and like, shut up.
Oh, you got your heart broken because she left you at McDonald's? Well, you know what mine did to me? Dungeon.
Oh, shit.
Believe it or not, straight to jail.
Uh, Stockholm syndrome. Hell yeah. Sean, what's your biggest fear?
Hmm.
Come on now, you can't leave us hanging.
It's not that I'm leaving you hanging.
Don't leave us hanging.
I'm trying to find a good one, like my biggest one.
Holy shit! Speaking of Germany, like literally a bunch of Nazis extending their arms out. Ooh, it's not a good sign.
I mean that happened there, yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
So that right there is telling you won't find it in Germany.
Fuck.
Well, that's a good thing because I heard Germans don't really bathe.
Oh wait, do they not? Ew.
I heard
maybe,
no.
maybe I gotta go down south
Let's
to
not
Italy.
just make assumptions about the Germans.
Just a rumor.
The Holocaust is just a rumor.
Per Kanye.
Per Kanye. Oh, Kanye, 2024.
Don't.
I think it's a new one. It's only a few years old, but
It's a baby.
and then recent events kind of like added on to it, and part of me is like, okay, like our biggest fear right now is being forgotten about. Like, and that came around and kind of like hit home, after my parents went. I was like, after a while, I was like, after like a year and change, I was like, wait. And I started counting like on a hand. I was like that's kind of it for like immediate, like family for like my side, and then, poof, you lose a couple more, and you're like, huh, that hand has come down to fingers, and you're like, oh my God, there's not many people left to tell anything about myself. Like from youth, young age to grown. It's almost like it's on like a hand. And I'm like, oh, that's a scary thought. That's a fear I didn't know I would have so early. And I didn't think it would affect me like it did. I was like, huh. I guess I do. I guess I don't want to be like. I guess it makes me not want to leave.
From like where you're at now?
Yeah. No, I think I've done a pretty good. Like, if I were to like take a step back and look now, I think I've made impacts on a good amount of people to where that wouldn't happen. But only like certain people only know like a itty bitty percentage, There's still some people around who you could sit down and they could make my skin and ears turn red from stories I hadn't heard of since, I was walking around. Not many of that left. And I'm fortunate that, they put together scrapbooks and stuff. And I was like, oh man. And I'm like, oh wow. The importance of that kind of stuff is weighing on me more. It's like, woo-wee. Man, better start, I don't know, doing something different to navigate it, I guess. But it used to be, my biggest fear used to be death. but I think I'm just more respectively like terrified of it than fearful of it. It's kind of hard to be fearful of something is like an enigma, inevitability. That word, whatever it is. Um, and that like being forgotten, became like more priority than that. I was like, yeah, I don't know. That's just what it is. That's one of my biggest fears right now. It's being forgotten. But I can live with knowing that hopefully I left some lives better than I found them, even if it's I'm not saying I went in and fixed their entire life, but for the time I was around, I improved their quality a little bit. If it went back down, after I left, it's unfortunate, but at least I was able to give a better quality of life while I was around, and they know what that's like.
I definitely know that with the with the Vanix especially, like when we were in Korea, not only them but you know obviously Grace and people we worked with, like you have a very magnetic like and a charming personality, which is great. And
Thank you.
I think you naturally
High
do make
praise.
impacts on people. Like I've seen it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you definitely don't have to worry about that. Like, just like they've all experienced, I've seen personally that you have be this trait about you that people can trust, and they'll always remember you no matter what happens, no matter what you do, where you guys are at in life. They'll always remember you. So you are your own walking legacy. And I think whenever that fear may have started within you, it started to resonate with you internally and created like an extension on your personality to always kind of instill a little bit of yourself into everyone that you meet, which you do. I think everywhere that you go, someone's always taking a little piece of who you are with them, and they'll apply that sooner or later in their life, and they'll always remember you.
I praise, man. Appreciate it. Just put a little bit of me in your pocket. Bring me out when you want to have a laugh. If you need to cut up a rug, put on the old record box. These knees still twist.
Yeah, I was peeing, but
Oh, nice.
yeah, I was hearing what.
Is that what that sound was?
Damn, I thought I was muted. Yeah, probably if you did hear it, yeah, that's me. That's me taking a leak.
Taking a tinkle.
Taking a little tinkle.
I suggest leaving it there.
But yeah, no, you do definitely leave a mark on people. Like, just with my cousin, like my mom, like they know like who you are, and I've told them about the times in Korea and how we did the whole British thing and how we had the photojournalist come in that one day and how we were cutting up with the pilots. I actually like kind of reenacted that time when Cash came in and the whole getting him loaded up with the M9.
The whole weapons loadout.
Yeah, I just explained that to my cousin. She thought that was funny.
Didn't even realize I was doing it at all.
It was so funny. So funny. You had no idea.
It's part of my daily routine with the fucking pilots. Just being an absolute madman at all times.
I'm standing there like trying to get components out to like rebuild a mask or whatever, and I'm standing there by like the NCO office, like where Crockett was, and I just overhear Cash goes in there. I just overhear you in the room. Be like, all right, so if it's full on British accent, I looked and saw your face, and your face was serious too.
All business.
So funny. So
Was part of the Royal Air Force that day, to the best of my ability.
And then Cash put his gun in his holster and like walked out. And then I
It's-
was cracking up, and you're looking at me like you were confused. And then I had to tell you about it.
It's like Cash. It's like, no, man. I've been around him for over a year. That's just how he is. It's just business as usual for him.
Oh.
He's like, yeah. Make sure I come home. He's fine. It's a little odd, but he's good. Make sure I come back.
Those pilots probably thought we were all fucking weird, but
Oh
they didn't
man,
really care.
listen, they probably would have had. They probably were happy to have crazies and squares.
Um,
What a
something.
what a
Oh.
beast that was.
Oh, I thought Korea was a good time. I didn't think it was much different than the pace back at Holloman for me personally. I thought it was gonna be worse, but it wasn't too bad.
It was a good bad time. A lot of bad.
Yeah.
But, we done got through it. We survived.
Yeah, except for the regime. That was rough.
That's a story for another time. Fucking
Yeah.
jeez Louise.
What are you guys doing next Thursday?
This. You know where I'm gonna be.
Hell yeah.
What is the date on next Thursday?
6th. Just after the 4th.
Come back. Well, yeah, I want to come back for sure.
Same time, it'll be at 6. It probably won't roll as late as this one, but I mean, usually with the first 3 times that I've streamed, I add a topic for the month, and like we'll go over it, why I chose it, what it means on the first week, and then the 3rd week of the month we kind of do a follow-up. But since next month, in light of the 4th of July being a holiday, I'm just going to keep it topic free, so we'll pretty much do what we did today. I realize it's getting late and I gotta figure out what's going on in my home, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up here in a little bit. But yeah, we will be back next week, Thursday the 6th at 6 p.m. 7 your time, Sean. Is that 7 for you as well, Casey, or are you CST or EST?
I'm Central.
Central, okay, so 6 p.m. for you. And then if Keys is still here, same time next week.
Keys.
His face been frozen for like the past 30
Yeah,
minutes.
it's been there. It's been frozen there for a minute.
He might be asleep. I don't know.
No, he's you gotta read the chat.
Oh, I have not been doing that.
He said his old lady called him.
Oh.
You're playing stepdaddy.
Had to go do his fatherly duties.
I'm glad he was able to get on today. And
Yeah,
everyone,
that's
I'm glad
true.
everyone was able to get on today.
For sure.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start.
I'm probably gonna keep the party going.
I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the stream. I'll go ahead and release you guys so I can wrap up. It's been fun.
Oh,
It's been enough.
all right.
Feels like I've been at work. It's almost 6 hours in.
Hey, listen, it was.
Holy cow.
It doesn't feel like work when you're having a good time.
It doesn't. It felt like it's
No,
only
it
been
does
3
not.
hours.
This will have to be put in like sections and parts.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely gonna have to edit the first 3 hours big time.
It's long. Because there's a minute where we're just Sitting there.
Sitting
We're really not talking about anything.
Before it really started to pop
We're
off.
we're really not talking about anything. We're like struggling to get the conversation going.
Meanwhile, my dog in the background having a freaking cow playing with my other dog.
Co-signing Sean.
Oh, hey, listen. My biggest fan right there.
Little Nash.
Well, Casey, it was a pleasure to meet you, and I hope I continue to see you here in the future. John, as always, it's been amazing. Keys, if you see or hear this, glad to have you, and glad to have you on for the first time today. I hope you guys have a good 4th of July. Stay safe. Whatever it is y'all do, stay safe. I'll, be aware and stay hydrated. It's gonna be a hot one.
You said what?
Make sure you count all 10 fingers.
Hey.
Your fireworks.
Shoot. Listen, once your dashboard lights up, you look at fireworks a little bit differently too. It's all gonna happen in 2 years, Casey.
Oh,
The whole dashboard.
can't wait
25 is
for
a
my
check
dirty
engine
30.
light, 30 is the dashboard.
Oh,
Listen,
Oh,
when you
weren't
get
we
in your
supposed to
40s
go
and
visit
50s, it's
Keys?
your alternator, and I don't know what to tell you then.
the alternator.
Better hope they have a replacement. Better hope they still make it.
Shit, I'll probably have some metal screws in me by that point. Somewhere.
Listen, whatever gets you over the hill,
Whatever fixes my alternator. I don't even know where that is. Where would that be?
Listen, okay. Oh,
It's
I
been
could
a
just
good
go back
time.
and forth. I could go back and forth with you all day. Mike's trying to get out of here.
Oh, y'all good. I was gonna say.
We're about to restart this whole stream. This might be a 12-hour, 24-hour stream.
I gotta figure out where my kids at. I can't do a 24-hour stream.
Hey, just leave it on, bro. We'll take shifts.
Y'all wouldn't watch me
Just,
sleep.
I'm gonna need it.
I'll be your sleep paralysis demon.
Man, I ain't seen him in a while, so I need somebody to step in.
Hey, man, you're just gonna hear a random whisper once every hour and a half. For sure.
And then for her, it's gonna be Corp.
Try it. You gonna eat your.
You can say the N-word.
Here's my black card.
I say it when you're not around anyway.
She's gonna make a swipe and beep sound. I'll be like, hey, did you just chip read that?
Honestly, I'd probably have a lot of respect if somebody came up to me and said, like, I say it when you're not around anyway. Like, respect.
All right.
Respect. That's fair.
Thanks for sharing.
That's fair, bro. What you do in the privacy of your own home?
I mean, if I'm singing a song, maybe.
I mean, that's a given. That's a given.
When you're singing a song, when you sing the song and the song pause, you turn into talking.
You
And
can't
that's
just
when
radio
everybody
edit
have an
yourself.
Radio
some people are that good to where if the song pause, they pause.
I would hate for someone to have to live through that. Just say it. I don't even care. It's just a word to me.
More, yeah. If you're in a crowded space, people will have more respect if you were to say it than because if you would catch all of you being afraid to say it one time, you can for sure not say it after that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna let it fly, let it fly. Let it fly, because there's gonna be some people who are gonna have an issue, and there's gonna have the other side of the fence who respect you for it.
You have to get over
And just
it.
tell you not to do it again. That's your one.
Hey, Sean,
That's
hit us
it.
with the sign off, brother.
Oh snap! Sign off. All right. As always, y'all are doing better than you think you are. I love you all.
Huh.
You're all gorgeous. You're all hydrating. Your skin glowing. And I can't wait to see what y'all got flowing.
Tell
You
him again,
good?
Dolomite.
I can't wait. Can't wait to see what y'all got flowing.
Put a stamp on it.
But I'm gonna take a little something from Matt Mercer and say don't forget to love each other. And that's all I got.
Casey, you want to add to that?
You guys are very special and unique in your own ways, and you know, whatever you're going through in life, you will get through it. You'll persevere. Keep your head up. Stay positive. Stay hydrated, and have a happy 4th of July.
Woo! All right.
Ooh.
Hey, you guys have a safe one. I'm gonna go ahead and put you guys out, but
Kick me
hopefully
out.
see you guys next week.
Kick me out. I want to be first.
Y'all have a good night.
All right, you guys too. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.
All right. Well, not much to say other than Thursday, July 6th, 6 p.m. CST, Central Standard Time. If you don't know, we'll be back at it again. Topic list, no topic for the month, and in light of 4th of July, how it's going down. Again, have a fun and safe 4th of July. Make sure you check your surroundings. Don't pop anything too close. Mind your kids. Make sure ain't nobody. Check for cars. Stay hydrated. Eat well. See you back here next week. Toodaloo.